Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss an interesting and beautiful problem on vectors, and let's try to understand a technique by which we can solve such questions easily. Generally, students have a habit that whenever they see maxima or minima, maximum value or minimum value, they run after differentiation. So instead we can use something based on geometry to solve such questions, and this result what we are going to get may be useful in solving other problems also. So for both NEET as well as IIT aspirants, this is a very interesting and good question. Let's see. A vector B vector has a constant magnitude. They have said that one vector is there whose magnitude is constant. They have not said anything about the direction. It can be variable. But there is another constant vector A. Now when they are saying constant vector A means its magnitude and direction both are constants. Now they have also given that the magnitude of A vector is n times that of B vector. Then what is the maximum angle that the resultant can make with A vector? So usually what we do when we solve such questions, say this is A vector whose magnitude is given as constant and direction also is constant. Now there is another vector, let's call it as B vector, and we know that we can produce the vector A so that when the tail of A vector and B vector are joined, this becomes the angle between the vectors, which we can take as theta. Now this theta is variable. Why it is variable? Because the direction of B vector is variable. B vector's magnitude is constant, but theta is variable, and theta can range from where to where? Theta can range anywhere between 0 to 180 degree. We have this possibility. That means B vector can be rotated from 0 degree to 180 degree. So we can say that the tip of B vector will trace what? A semicircle whose radius will be equal to the magnitude of B vector. Let's call the magnitude of B vector as B. Now magnitude of A vector, we can say its magnitude is n times of B, nB. When we draw the resultant by parallelogram law, this is the resultant R vector. So this is making an angle alpha with A vector. So this is resultant, as you can see. So as B vector is rotated from 0 to 180 degree, so R vector will also keep on changing, okay, both in magnitude and direction. So we are being asked what is the maximum value that R vector will make with A vector, right? So as I just said that A vector is constant with magnitude nB, but B vector can be rotated from 0 to 180, so its tip will trace a semicircle. So we have done that. Let's see this scene. Now you can see this OA, which I have marked over here. I can say that OA vector is nothing but A vector, and the magnitude of OA is the magnitude of A vector, which is nB. And here this you can see is B vector. This is the circle traced by semicircle traced by B vector's tip. So what is the radius of this circle? The radius of this circle will become B. So radius of the circle or semicircle is B. Now you can see that I have drawn different B vectors, and this is A vector. So this white color dotted lines will represent different resultants. Now you can see the maximum angle that is possible for the resultant with A vector. Mind it again, OA is A vector. So maximum angle that the resultant can make with OA vector, you can see out of all the white lines, this is the maximum angle, right? So this angle will be alpha max. And when we are taking this as the resultant, which is giving you maximum angle with A vector, as I said that this is A vector, and this being B vector, corresponding to which we are getting the maximum angle out of all. So you can see this R vector is simply the tangent to the semicircle. That means this angle is 90 degree. That's it. So our question is solved. How? See. Now this being O, this being A, this being B. Let's give it a name, say P, and this is the magnitude is nB, this being B, this is the resultant for which we are having maximum. Now you can see a right angle triangle, just in one line we can write sine alpha max. If you take, this is perpendicular by hypotenuse, So perpendicular is P, hypotenuse is NP. That's it. We got our answer. So what is alpha max? It is simply sine inverse, I'm sorry, not 1 by P, it is 1 by N. So sine inverse 1 by N. And mind it, we have to presume here that N value should be greater than 1. That is, A vector's magnitude is more than the magnitude of B vector. Otherwise, you know that there will be a discrepancy, because if N is less than 1, so we'll get sine inverse of a value which is more than 1, which is not possible. Okay. So here we have to keep in mind that N should be greater than 1. That is, the magnitude of A vector should be greater than magnitude of B vector. So I hope you found this case, important case, something new to learn. So we'll be seeing such type of questions in near future also. Stay connected. Thank you.